What's going on, gurus? My name is Nick, and I am back here today to discuss outbound email for SOAR again. Now, the reason that we're jumping back in here and discussing this one more time, and probably won't be the last one because I do have plans for future videos on this integration as well. This integration is just super powerful. But this time we're going to discuss using the Jinja files. So, what I've got here today for us is again, we're going to be using this integration and we're going to be using this version here. Now, what I've done already is actually, if we go out to the IR Guru's GitHub page, this will actually allow us to take a look at what I've already published. And so if you come out to our playbooks, go out to our outbound email playbooks, you'll be able to find a bunch of different things that I've got built out in here. So I've got first this res file. The res file in here is specifically, it includes all of these different templates that I've got here, or all of these different playbooks, I mean, that I've got here. And then I also include this parsing file as well, which will allow you to parse those inbound emails or the responses to the emails that we send out and actually add them to the conversation. The next thing to note is that last time I think I discussed this, I built this HTML template here, and this was just a nice looking template that you could use to standardize what all of your emails look like. Now, that led to me getting questions about how do I start to use some of the Jinja functions to actually be able to perform some of the lookups and add additional details to it. So that's what led me to actually build these last three down here, which are the Jinja templates. Now, today what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add those three templates in. I'll show you how to get those added in, how to get those connected. Of course, if you want to change up the templates, you'll just build your template in the same manner and add it in the same manner as I'm adding it here. But we'll discuss what those templates are, what those functions are, and how you can actually use them. Let's go ahead and dive into this. All right. So you can see that I've already got the integration installed and I've already got the correct version running as well. So what we're going to have to do is, since it's already deployed, we're going to jump over to our configuration. And first thing we're going to do is we need to add our Jinja templates. Now, the way that we're going to add these Jinja templates is by first grabbing one of these Jinja templates out here, or of course you can make your own if that's what you want to do. But let's first look at the status Jinja template. You can see I've got a lot of HTML going on in here, but the part that we're going to focus on is down here, starting at line 305. This is where we're going to build a macro to allow us to actually grab the incident field names and then ultimately bring those into our template and populate them. So the first thing we're doing is we're creating this macro called getRow, where first we're going to supply it a label, and then we need to grab a field name. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to essentially create a new row with this information on it. The way that this is going to work is down here, you can see at the very bottom here, I am going to call this function. I'm going to specify what I want this to be called in my email. So this one's going to be incident with a colon. And then after that, I'm going to post the value of the severity code for that. Actually, I just realized that I messed that up. I've got two severity codes. So the incident should actually be ID. So I'll go ahead and change that when we copy that over, and I'll get this corrected. So by the time you guys see this video, this should be fixed. Now, this is how we're going to go ahead and get incident field values into our email template. But we've got other templates we can use too. So what you're going to want to do is first make sure that if you're making your own template, you copy in this macro here. This will allow you to use this macro and grab the field information. Then what we're going to do is you're going to create a line like this for every single incident field that you want to pull into your incident. The next thing we're going to look at is the notes. Again, we're going to scroll all the way down to that should be about 305 again. Yep, here we are again. So at line 305, you can see we've got a different macro this time. This time what we're doing is we're getting the notes. And not only are we going to get all of the notes and put them in chronological order from in which they were posted to the incident, but we're also going to see if we want to grab the children as well. So by default, grabbing the children, any of the children notes is also going to be turned on. And what the children notes are is any responses to a note. So if we have a conversation going on where you can use your notes like a forum, but what we're going to do is you've got the root note, any of the notes that are responses to that or to any of the other responses, those are classified as the children. What we're going to do is we're going to say that yes, we do want to get the children. But of course, if we wanted to change that, we could just add this field in and say false. But what we're going to do is further down here, where we are grabbing the notes, we are going to use this line here, which is ultimately going to allow us to get the note, and we're just grabbing all notes. At this point, if we wanted to make it so that we weren't going to grab the children notes, we were just going to grab the root notes, we could just add a comma here, right? I can't edit this. We would just want to add a comma right here and then add the value get children equals and false. But this is how we're going to get our notes, and we'll show you what this looks like in just a Next, and the last one is the artifacts. Again, the artifacts is going to be just like the previous one. If we go down to line 305, we've got a different macro that we're creating specifically for get artifacts, and we're calling the artifacts that we're going to get. And then we are just posting the artifact and its description to a table that we're generating within our email. Then you can see that further down, we're going to call this function where we are going to go get all of those artifacts. And again, in the order that they have been posted to the incident from first to last will be posted into our email. And again, we'll show you what this looks like but these are the templates that we're going to be using and adding to our integration here. So let's see what that looks like. First, whenever you're going to add a new integration, you're going to click New File. This is going to allow you to create a new file within your container that your app is running in. And then I'm actually going to jump into my incident notes here. First thing we're going to define is where we want this to be stored within our container. I'm going to go ahead and store mine with the rest of the templates that actually get brought in with the package. And that's going to be in the data folder and templates subfolder. Then we're going to give it a name. And I just called mine incident_notes.jinja. Next thing we're going to do, if you want to give it a description, you can of course do that, but we're going to jump down to the file content. We're going to name the file type as the Jinja2 option here. Then we're going to paste the value that I have for my template or for your template, whichever one you're using, down here. After we paste that value in, then what we're going to do is we're going to hit save and push changes. This is going to give us a new template. And as soon as you hit save and push changes when creating a new file, it's actually going to automatically redeploy it up here. So you'll probably see this go to waiting or something like that, and then redeploying or deploying, and then it'll say ready for use again. That's what you're going to wait for. And then ultimately, that's what we're going to see get changed here. All right, real quick, let's go ahead and jump into the incident status one here. Again, you're going to see I'm putting it in the same location, giving it a different name, and then posting my next template in there. Next, after we get our templates added in here, however many templates you're going to use. Then the next thing we're going to have to do is actually define those templates. We're going to do that by jumping into the app.config. All right. Once we're in the app.config, what we're going to do is scroll down to the template section, which is found right here. My line 63, of course, yours is going to be wherever yours is, depending on how you've formatted your config up top. But we're going to look for that template section here. Then what we're going to do is we're going to add our templates in here. Now, the way that we're going to do this is first we are going to add a label. This could be something as simple as label A, if I can spell correctly, or B or C, and just however many templates you've got. Or you can actually give your templates a name like I did here, where I said incident status, incident notes, incident artifacts. So this is going to give us each one of those templates we created. Then we have to define where exactly that's located. The way we're going to do that is just put the entire path of what we just created in here. So first the data folder, then the template subfolder, and then whatever name we provided for that template. After you do that, you create all three of your templates there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and test that configuration if you'd like, and then save and push changes. You'll see that this is again going to restart and redeploy. After this gets changed, then you'll see the deploying status and soon ready for action. There we go. And now our app is again ready for use, so we can go ahead and start using that integration now. So the next thing we have to do is we have to import the playbooks. All right, now that we're in here, you can see that I've already added my playbooks. I've also disabled all of the ones that came with the integration by default. You can do that if you would like, just to get rid of those example playbooks that come with it. And then what you can do is import the playbooks that I created or create your own playbooks, however you would like. And then the one thing that we are going to have to do is we are going to have to edit each of these playbooks to include the templates and a couple of config changes within the function script. I've already done that on all of the other ones, so let's go ahead and just dive into my instant email here where we can do this one together. All right, the first thing you're going to have to do, and this is going to be for every single one, let's go to our function and let's edit the function script. Now, there are these two sections right here. This is the only thing that I have created that you will have to edit within these to get these to work the way that they should work. And the first one is going to take the system's fully qualified domain name. So I'll enter mine in here. And then the second line here, line 5, we're going to have to edit to add our sender email. So again, you might not have to add this. You can actually maybe comment or delete this line out if you've already defined this in your app.config file. But just to be safe, I am going to go ahead and define this in here as my email address that I'll be using for my lab. All right, once you get those two things changed there, then you should be good to go. Now, of course, if you do want to change anything like the inline script that I have down here, this is just going to give you a basic template that you can create and use when you're sending a standard text email. And we'll see that here in just a second too. Go ahead and hit save here. Now, the next thing that we have to change, and this is where we're going to have to change this on all of them, or wherever we want to be able to use each one of those templates that we call. But we can go to the incident activated. We will go to our activation form, and we will go to our mail template select. Now, we'll have to edit and go to mail template select, my bad. In here, what we're going to do is we're going to have to actually put in the value names here. So the way we do that is we click the edit button, we can erase all of these, and then we can actually add the templates that we created. So let's jump back into our app.config. will grab these 3 lines here. I don't need all of them. We just need the labels themselves. So we'll go ahead and erase the file locations. Now that I've got all 3 of these entered in here, we'll go ahead and save this. We'll save it here. Click done. Then we'll save it up here. And this playbook is now good to go. Let's go ahead and take a look to see what that email looks like when it gets sent out. All right. So on my left, we have my source system. I'm actively in an incident. And on my right, we actually have a mail inbox for the email account that we'll be using for this demo environment. So the way that we're going to do this is first, we are going to kick off one of those playbooks. Playbook we're going to use is actually going to be a send email incident. Now we're going to get this pop up here, which is going to ask us who we want to send it to and how do we want to send it. First, let's go ahead and send a plain text message email to show you what that template looks like. Now we'll give this a subject and we'll give it a message. If we want to call any attachments, we can do that just by giving a comma separated list here. And then next, we're going to give it a generated message ID. Of course, we can change things down here if we want to. And we're not going to use a template because of the fact that we are actually defining the message body up here. Now what we'll go ahead and do is we will go ahead and execute that and see what that email looks like when it comes in. All right, and you can see that that email completed and we've got it over here now. Now this is the template that I've designed. So you're going to have this message where it says hello, and then it ends with regards and cybersecurity team. Of course, you can change those to customize that for your team. But right here, we've got the message that the user has selected to send, and you'll be able to see that here. Now, the other thing that we get from this too is if we scroll down to our conversations down below, refresh first, we keep track of that email sent right here, and you'll be able to see what that email looked like. Now, let's send an email as one of our templates. Again, we're just going to send this email. Go ahead and give it a name. This time we're going to skip the email body because we're actually going to use a template. So we'll select the status template. We'll go ahead and have it generate a message ID for us. Then we'll click execute. Now we can see that that finished over here. We got our email over here. Now you can see that I have all of the details over here, including our fix. So it's actually giving us the incident ID instead, as well as the description and actually a link directly to our incident if we were to want to jump into that incident. Now let's take a look at the notes. Again, skip the body and select the notes template. Now we got our message again. It was successfully sent, and we can see all of the notes in order as they came in. To compare that, if we scroll into our notes over here, we can actually see all of those notes, and they're going to be in order as we come through here. Now, they are only going to show the incident notes and not task-based notes. So I will note that. All right, last but not least, let's go ahead and take a look at the artifacts. And before I could even get to it, that finished and it updated over here. And we can see that we've got all of our artifacts over here. Now this time we've got all of our artifacts. Artifacts are on the left-hand side And then, of course, the description of each one of those is on the right-hand side. Down at the very bottom, we're going to have a quick link to our incident as well. All right. Now, keep in mind, I did put all of these as 3 different templates. If you wanted to create an overall template that is going to send you the status of certain incident fields, and then going to give you all of the notes and all of the artifacts to send out as one big status check for your email, then what this is going to want to do is go to your templates, and in the template section, you're going to want to make sure that you have every single one of these macros here. When you get those macros, then what you're going to do is post them one right after the other at the beginning of your template, or at least before you want to use them. And then what you're going to want to do is call them out each individually in this manner down here. That's going to allow you to use all of them, and you can build your template out to give you one big, nice layout of an email so you can do a status update or something to that effect. Now, with all of this said, I hope that this helped benefit you today as you were trying to build out your Jinja templates for your outbound emails. All right. And with all of that said, I hope that this is going to ultimately help you build your own Jinja templates, or I hope that the ones that I've built are beneficial to you in some way so that ultimately you can start getting more and more use out of this integration because, like I said, this integration is super powerful, allows you to do all kinds of things by bringing that data into templates or just by sending emails in general. I do plan on doing another video here in the future of actually doing authorization requests, which is going to be sending out an email and getting approval from either somebody outside of the org, or maybe even you want to be able to block something without even having to get in, and you just want this to go out to your analyst, have them review it, and then respond with a block or not block or yay or nay, or however you want them to respond, so that they can block that artifact on maybe your firewall or on an endpoint, and we can perform some automations like that. All right, gurus, and with everything that I just went over, I hope that this benefits you so that you can go out and build your own templates or use my templates, and hopefully that they give you what you needed to know and how to understand on building these kind of templates out. If this video did give you the help that you needed, please give me a like and a subscribe. If you've got questions, feel free to throw a comment down below. And if it didn't help or you have further questions or needs, feel free to give me a comment down below asking for that too. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys in the next video.